And you got to be bold if you're in New York City. There is no doubt about it. And I have always seen New York as my own personal runway to emote my style. Hi, everybody. This is Diane Gilman, formerly known as the Queen of Jeans on QVC and HSM, but now the proud host of Fashion Thursdays with Diane. You may wonder why I'm wearing a coat indoors. Well, that story is woven into our major fashion story of the day. Living out loud with loud fashion, the death of quiet luxury. No, we don't want to be quiet anymore. And I will tell you a story about this coat before we truly begin. So I have not bought anything outrageous for several years. I got on board the quiet luxury train, and it was so simple, and it was like a downbeat oversized turtleneck and a downbeat trouser and a very quiet tailored coat. And then I saw this coat and I went crazy over it. And it was, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? And it was like, no, 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 no. You're retired now. Don't do that. And then it went on sale and I bought it. Okay. I didn't expect much from it. I thought, it's really luxuriously warm. I love it for that. I love black. Of course, I live in New York. Who wouldn't? But I never expected that this would become my magic coat. What's magical about it? Every place I go wearing this coat, I make people happy. And people that you would not expect to even pay attention to you. Like doormen in office buildings, like stylish women on the street come running up to me and saying, oh, that is fabulous. And honestly, a Leo, astrologically, is a fashion pioneer, as a TV personality. Tension makes me really happy. Every time I wear this coat, I get tons of attention and strangers walking up to me on 57th Street or 5th Avenue and saying, can I just touch it? Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love it. And it's very oversized, like a 1920s bearskin or raccoon coat. And that is loud luxe. You want to be seen. You want to be a point of conversation. So living out loud is what this is all about. And loud luxury is what fashion once was about 20 years ago and should be again. It is about glamorous showpieces. And if you're saying to yourself, oh, I have to invest in a whole new wardrobe, no, not necessarily, but we'll get to that. So, loud luxe is for fashion gasp worthy. It's attention getting, liberating, celebratory, powerful, brave, confident, and honestly, exceptionally unapologetic fashion. Now, on TikTok, may it rest in peace, they called it a coat like mine, mob wife fashion, because it was like over the top and it was hilarious. One of the sellers for the TikTok shop put on a New Jersey accent, had a huge faux fur coat, and was talking about who she was a mob boss's wife. So it's mob wife fashion. And you know what? I bought that coat too, and I bought the other one she constantly wore, and those get the same reflection of, oh my God, I love it. It's loud. It's crazy. It's bold. It's fabulous. So this is definitely social dressing. It will make your introductions for you. And it is also a mood enhancer. Headline for New York Times this morning. We are a very wealthy but extremely depressed nation. And so I always think I'm doing myself and society a service by turning around and wearing a garment like this. Oh my God, it's so soft. I love it. I was really guilty about it to begin with. But you know what? Girls, let's turn up the volume. I thing I really love the most about living out loud with fashion is you can take any one of a number of hero pieces. I call this a hero piece and make it the center point of your identity for the day. This is a statement about your life. This kind of garment, and I call it hero because you can't take your eyes off of it. It is very obviously the 600-pound gorilla in the fashion room. This tells everybody a bit of who you are in the world. And here's the other thing I love about living out loud with fashion: loud luxe. You don't have to be young. You don't have to be 6 feet tall. You don't have to weigh 80 pounds. You can be any age. And if you truly believe in the way you look and the message you want to deliver, guess what? You're in. Because the other thing you must be is authentic and a little bit brave and totally believable in what you're wearing. So I honestly see myself in New York City as a character that belongs here. And you got to be bold if you're in New York City. There is no doubt about it. And I have always seen New York as my own personal runway to emote my style. So you know what? A mob wife coat like this, loud luxury, nobody can avoid looking at you. They've got to. It's as if you're shouting. That is your chance to create the story of you starring on the stage of life, wherever you are. Now, I want to say that possibly the first loud luxe queen was Marie Antoinette. But unlike some fashionistas who believe that loud luxe is about wearing and being dripping in real diamonds and precious metals and um having that I'm better than you complex because I'm more wealthy. That is not to me loud lux. And by the way, with Marie Antoinette as the first queen of loud lux, look at how that turned out. So let's go back to more natural entry into that world and costume jewelry too, which was once so creative and so fabulous. So to say that to me, the very epitome of quiet luxury was the Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial in 2023. That was you climbed to the ark. And she looked okay at the trial. If you are as beautiful as Gwyneth Paltrow is, then you sort of use quiet luxury to say, honestly, I'm so beautiful. I don't need anything helping me. And then I would say that the modern statement of loud lux was between 1998 and 2004. It was Sex in the City and Carrie Bradshaw. And every article of clothing you wore had to be pitch perfect and sort of say what you wanted out of your life or an evening. And the whole thing, the height of Loud Lux, and you got to watch it every week on TV, were those Christian Louboutins. And the promise they made to you as a female that you were going to get a lot of attention from males for the evening. And yeah, honestly, it's been so long since I've lived out loud that I didn't even remember what wearing beautiful, outrageous, outgoing fashion was like. But it's like being a good time girl. It's like every time I go out in this coat, I know I'm going to have a good time because everybody around me is going to be cheered up and want to know who I am and what I do. And it's great, especially for us old girls. So you can honestly take a look, and I was doing it yesterday, at reruns of Sex in the City and realize that That was a New York fairy tale. I knew Pat Fields, who obviously coordinated all the fashion, created that look and that mood for Sex and the City. Um, I knew her for years, and she wasn't dressing that way in real life, but she was brilliant at bringing it together. And do you know, honestly, I went to an affair recently for American Cancer Society, and Miss Bushnell, the creator of Sex and the City, Candace, was talking about it. And they introduced her by saying she created a whole new social system in New York, in Dallas, in Chicago, in LA, in Miami, for women relating to one another and getting excited about shopping and wanting commentary. And I know that because I know at Bergdorf Goodman's 57th and 5th, entire posses of BFFs would come into that store, ask for bridal dressing rooms where you could fit in 8, 9, 10 women and all be getting dressed and undressed together. And it was a party and it was fun and it was so anticipatory of what that new article of clothing was going to do for you. And there was almost a guarantee you were going to meet some unbelievable, handsome, wealthy prince, and he was going to ride you off on his white horse. And well, it never happened for me, but I'll tell you what, much of that clothing, and certainly the Christian Louboutin 6-inch spikes, were honestly the ultimate sex symbol and a deal breaker. If you weren't wearing Christian Louboutin and showing off those red soles, well, I don't know. Who were you? And it really brings to mind the idea of retail therapy. I bought this coat because I realized I've been running my mouth on my podcasts about how, oh, there's no winter in New York anymore, and all you need is a blazer, and now it's like the coldest winter in 25 years. So honestly, all I anticipated from this coat was I was finally going to be warm. But what happened was something else. And it made me happy and it makes me feel like I still got it. So I say, girls, if you got it, flaunt it. No matter what the age, I'm almost 80 and I never really anticipated I would get that much attention. One piece of advice I personally love, just using one hero piece at a time. And I call the coat magic coat, but really a hero piece. My hair, constant hero piece. And we'll get to what we're going to do with quiet luxury in a moment because we cannot talk about living out loud. We cannot talk about loud luxury unless we're going to talk about the poster girl for it. Hi, today we're talking about Particlar. This is a series of supplements, and let me tell you what, if you are aging with any sort of inflammation that becomes one of the biggest issues in your everyday life, and swelling and joint pain, oh, I'm on it 100%. I've begun a new vitamin regime from Particlar that has literally changed my life. And I feel so much better on a daily basis. Try it out with a discount using our code below. You are going to love it. Iris Apfel. I bring that up, and I've mentioned Iris before. I have a very personal connection with Iris. I designed and embellished her HSN wardrobe. So when I was on HSN, so was Iris. About 2010 to 2015, 18. And they were outrageous jeans. And I always got a green room, a dressing room across the hall from Iris. And I would pack all these amazing jeans, size 2. She was not even a size 2. She was like a 00, and bring them over to her while she was getting her makeup done. It was such a sense of pride for me. Iris in 2005 had the Metropolitan Museum approach her. They had some big sideshow, not a main gallery, but a smaller gallery and fashion gallery, drop out. And Iris walked the walk and talked the talk. She originally started in home dec. And then everywhere she traveled and always for inspiration, she was buying incredible pieces of costume jewelry, native jewelry. Iris was not a mob wife, pile on the diamonds kind of girl. And she had created such an amazing world for herself. She was the original Loud Lux, the original I'm gonna scream it out to the rafters, and I don't care. I don't care what you think of me. This is how I love to look. These are the colors I gravitate towards, happy colors. Bumblebee yellow mixed with black, rainbow colors. Oh my God, I saw her when we were at a party together, a huge party. She was wearing these rainbow palazzos. I think the estimate was 75,000 crystals on these pants, and they were done in stripes of rainbow jewels. Blown away. Iris got away with it. First of all, she was not about beauty. She was about celebration of fashion and statement. And she actually didn't care what other people thought. She only cared about what she thought of herself and the joy it brought her. And that brings me to a story. So, Iris once said, the thing I hate the most in life is beige, 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 sameness. I don't understand why people don't want to dress to be seen. I don't understand, Iris said, why people don't want to express themselves and stand out. And that is leading to a very interesting story. So we were at this event together at HSN, big ballroom, huge awards dinner, full black tie. And she's talking about how boring people are, how boring they dress and don't want to be seen and want to go under the radar. And she actually said it was nauseating. Well, I had just had an experience that ties in perfectly to that and to going from quiet luxury to loud lux. So I worked with somebody who I love dearly, and she was a suburban housewife, real suburbia, 3 kids. Now, that's about as far away from my life in New York City in a penthouse on Fifth Avenue as you can get. But we were of the same mind. We really enjoyed one another. So my company paid for her to really get her hair done, which she marcelled. She was blonde. And they marcelled it to sort of look like Jean Harlow in White Heat or something. It was beautiful. And then sort of a 1930s flapper evening gown and gorgeous false eyelashes, very delicate, lipstick, eye makeup, all done to the T. And I said to her, "You are gorgeous. I never realized this before. You are so beautiful. Why don't you just do a little bit of this every day?" It's pretty easy to marcel your hair with a curling iron. You don't have to do false eyelashes, but you've got long lashes. So do some mascara and a little eyebrow pencil and just a little blush and a bit of foundation. And you are a knockout. And what she responded back to me was so shocking. It had never even entered this fashion fevered brain. She said, "Oh, I could never do that. Nobody would talk to me. All the other suburban wives would think I was cheating on my husband, having an affair, planning to move out." She said, "That just isn't done." I said, "So in order for you to be very beige and fit in You want to go way under the radar. You never want to be seen. You don't want to be admired. You don't want to be followed or copied. And she said, yeah, exactly. I would be a complete freak in my environment. Wow. Well, I mean, I had to take it at face value. I was never a suburban housewife, but that was exactly what Iris Apfel did not want to be. And I remember seeing a portrait, full length portrait, really more like just a candid picture of Iris Apfel, late 60s, in her Palm Beach living room, which was like the Cairo Egyptian Museum. It had so much incredible stuff sucked into it. And she was wearing plain black turtleneck, always skinny. Iris was always lean, and black bell bottoms, and the lower 6 or 8 inches of the bell bottoms were baby ostrich feathers, and she had her arm draped around this unbelievable, a taxidermied stuffed ostrich, which she used as a jacket coat rack when she wasn't posing with it. I mean, talk about dedication to purpose, which was, hell yeah, I want you to take a look at me and I want you to like what you see too. I love the fact that living out loud with color, with texture, with silhouette, with outrageous accessories is something that not only brings you or I, as the creators of our own image, joy, but gives joy to everyone around you. I don't know one person who has seen me and been bold enough to come up to me who hasn't said, I just love the way you look. And what they're saying is they love the freedom of it. They love the boldness of it. And kind of like, thank God for you for being able to make that statement. My friendship with Iris, of course, was never long enough. But one thing she always said that I thought was great was too much is never enough. This statement was also, you are never too old to create high fashion. And that's exactly what she did. Now, I would never go out of the house in any of her outfits. They're way too much for me. And it seems to me that there are 3 ways you can go: classic, flair, or experimental. I am not so experimental, but I'm definitely flair. And if you're moping around this winter and saying, oh my God, every day is like 0 degrees out, now's the time to start shopping your closet and start to get together a new look, a joyous look, a happy look, a look that elevates people around you, that introduces you to them. And I have to say, there is some good news about the death of quiet luxury. It can now be where it actually should be. Not at the forefront, but in the background. And if you have collected quiet luxury pieces over the last few years, oversized turtlenecks, drapey trousers, guess what? Those are going to be your basis for living out loud. Because for somebody like me, and I am definitely about dressing with a flair, I'm not about classic, but that'll work too. That could be you. And I'm definitely not experimental the way Iris was, but then who is? That's why she stands alone as a fashion icon. I will take either an outrageous coat like this and be wearing it with a simple turtleneck, maybe a pair of faux leather leggings, a knee-high boot, or come spring, maybe a softly colored blazer, and then multicolors for a scarf, a big pair of earrings. Oh yeah, ladies, they're coming back. Now the #1 best-selling item for Chanel is a beautiful shade of baby powder pink in their classic, that little flat shoe. And oh my God, I saw them. I wanted them immediately. That could make an outfit. So let's go closet shopping and see what we've got from quiet luxury that could just be very foundational and not have to carry the burden of what it is not, which is mood elevating, attention getting, and generally having and proving to the world that you've got the fashion chops to put it together. I have to say that I love also that kind of tsunami of accessory acceptance that Iris is bringing us. And by the way, one of the reasons that Iris is so in the forefront right now, and rest her soul, she passed away at 102 and a half late last year, is Sotheby's, the renowned high-end auction company, mostly for art and being an art gallery, is displaying the wealth and the richness of a life well lived by Iris with outrageous items of clothing, both at their gallery within Rockefeller Center and in Miami. So check that out if you can, just to have a walk on the wild side of amazing clothing. And I have never met anybody as tough, as smart, or as brave as Iris. And when she saw it and she loved it, she bought it. So don't think that pictures of Iris or the image of her is someone who just walked into a thrift store and bought a feather boa. No, ladies. You'll see photos of her in a black and white, beautiful, full length boa. Chanel. Another is a gigantic short to the knee boa jacket, black feathers with rainbow colored, almost in acid colors, acid green, acid yellow, bright lipstick red, orange from Balmain. It goes on and on. But you know what? She actually used a lot of her clothing as home deck and would lay it out or make a statement. I learned that from her. So Iris is definitely the leader of exceptionally unapologetic fashion. I'm not that brave, but you know what? She has reignited my love of fashion with a flair. And I say to you, go out there and be colorful and be joyous and make people around you happy. Living out loud is here. Let's do it, ladies. Yeah. I love it. I got to wear my coat indoors. And by the way, my apartment is freezing. So it all worked out. I hope you loved Living Out Loud with Loud Lux.
Thank you so much for listening to Too Young to Be Old podcast. The episode may be over, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at The Diane Gilman, or visit our website, thedianegilman.com. If you like the show, leave us a rating or a review and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And until then, don't forget, age is just a number. Together, we'll prove that we are all too young to be old.